melts into the flames. It looks at me and speaks. This is what remembering does, it says. And then I'm in a field. It's raining. I cannot move my legs, but steadily I go forward, through the tall grass towards a grave. I cannot read it, but I do not need to. This grave is mine. And then I wake up.
Do you want a dreamsicle?
Yes, I do. Yes, everything is pleasant now. What are all you kids looking at?
Angie's Ice Creamery. It's a dream come true.
Hi, I'm Tony Panchisi, owner of DIY Spaghetti Emporium, where DIY stands for Do It Yourself. I mean it. I don't have any staff, so you're doing everything in this restaurant for yourself, and my name isn't Tony Palucci. You're You're cooking your own meal. And buddy, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean, capiche? So now you think your night's over because your family's done eating, huh? We close at 11:30, so get your ass back out there and wait on that two-top in Section 4. Nobody ducks out early on me, come on Pedestro. And have you seen the state of those bathrooms? One of the women's toilets has a clog that could choke a horse. So if you're ready for a home-cooked Italian meal and earning half the minimum wage, come on down to DIY Spaghetti.
Carol, could you not sit on top of my desk? Because I end up just looking at your body.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Everybody, we're back from lunch in 5. We're back from lunch in 5, so please finish what you're eating.
Don't Say Pajamas is the new game show that's taken the world by storm. Hosted by none other than Terry St. Pancakes. The only rule of this game is not to say the word pajamas.
Mr. Edgar Loudshoes, come on down.
I can't believe I'm on Don't Say Pajamas! What was that?
You said pajamas. Now please sit down.
Uh-oh. Remember, don't say pajamas.
What do you call clothes that you sleep in?
Ooh, pajamas? Nuts!
Don't say pajamas.
A word that rhymes with bojamas.
Well, it's not pajamas. Poop. Literally all you have to do to win is not say pajamas.
Remember, in the final round, you are still not allowed to say pajamas.
Then I'm gonna go with my gut and say pajamas. Fudge Pug!
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. You three want to lighten up? That tension is so thick in here I could cut it with my butt cheeks. There are your screws to get you started. If you think another player is clueless, screw them and make them answer immediately. If they miss it, you win extra cash. And our wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsors' wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. Okie doke, this is really happening.
Question 1.
Right off the bat, bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Player 3, the time is now. Player 3, what are you implying exactly? Players 1 and 2, Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it. Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do! Say it so! Here's a good one. His acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Hello? Player 3? What a pity. Players 1 and 2? Congratulations, not. Now pay attention. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Open wide for... to you by the letter U-nibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Player 3, come on! Player 3? Players 1 and 2? It was begging to be picked. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. I call this one Duck, Duck, Swan. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Player 1. Player 2, you're screwed. You got 5 seconds to pick an answer. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Player 1, you are now the screwee. Here's one I like to call The Man in the Backwards Yellow Hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player 1, you're in last place, so I choose you to play this dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Now, the rest of you need to hear this. Try to pick an answer before Player 1. If Player 1 gets it wrong, I'll split that cash among everyone else who got it right. Ready? Let's go. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a egged a house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. Forget George, I'm curious how someone could do this badly. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That'll wrap up round 1. And it looks like Player 2 has the lead, but don't go spending that money just yet. Remember, in round 2, every question is worth double. And remember, our wrong answer to the game is still out there waiting to be picked. All right, you ready? Too bad. May I introduce Dumber and Dumberer 2. So, there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Player 2, let this be a lesson to you. Players 1 and 3, odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Pucker up for Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Time's running out. Player 1. Wait for it. Wait for it. Players 2 and 3. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Try this on for size. Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player 1. Players 2 and 3. That answer has a hole in it. This would have worked. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Coming up next, wine or lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Not much time left. Player 3, get out of here! Seriously, get out of here. Player 2, this is right. Oops, this is white, which is wrong. Player 1, Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. It's time for I Want to Lick and Roll All Night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Players 2 and 3.
Whoa! Oh, that was nice.
Player 1. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 if you're right, but if you're wrong, you lose 2,000. And one more thing. Okay, if that's how you want it, here's the clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. Takes it! Player 1, you really taught those other 2 a lesson today, didn't you? Now if you could just explain what they're doing hanging out with you, I'd be really impressed. In the meantime, keep telling yourself, you know